Hey, good morning, Howard. This is a quick demo video for you for your KR Sabers Fortis. This is installed with a Goth Master chassis. It is a 2-button setup. So your 2 switches here, your big one's going to be your power, and your little one is going to be your auxiliary. Now, one thing that I noticed about this little one, or your auxiliary switch, and the piece that went inside of it that connects to the chassis, is that this switch cannot be screwed all the way down. So I've got it exactly where it needs to be height-wise. All right, and it actuates the switch just fine. But if you were to take this and screw this all the way down into the Saber, it's not going to actuate that switch right. So take note of where I've got that, because that's where that needs to be. But I don't see you ever having to mess with it. But just in case you do, I wanted you to know that. All right, you've got a stock. This looks like a stock V3 in there for your Neopixel connector. And then how to get to your chassis is you want to unscrew the pummel. I did do one thing to the pummel. Not a big deal, but I'll go over it with you. When you take it off, initially when you take this off, it came in 2 pieces. There's a little ring right here. This little black ring, that was loose. So what I did is I just went ahead and I glued that on there so you didn't have to worry about that falling off every time. All right, because it fell off on me a few times. So glue that on there. Your D-ring, or your tri-ring rather, still spins. So you've got that. You didn't lose anything there. You'll see your chassis kind of poking out right here. It is a tight fit, so what you'll want to do is grab your Saber like this and cup your other hand and go like this once or twice, and it will pop out about that far, and you can pull it out. All right, so this is your Goth Master chassis, just to kind of give you some visual as we spin it around here. Your crystal chamber here does open. The door is on magnets, so if I can swing, you can swing that open right here. It's held closed with 2 magnets on the top, but pretty easy to open up. You did not have the printed crystal that went with this kit, so what I did was I put a real quartz crystal in there for you. All right, so that is a real quartz crystal. On the bottom there, you can see your spinning plasma gate, and we'll go over that here in a second. But when you don't want to see that, you can just close it like that. Your board cover is right here. All right, so again, this is on magnets as well, so you could just flip that up. There's 2 magnets right here. I did put an LED strip right on top of the board to give you some added, some blinkies, right underneath these vents. But that's how you get to your Proffie board. Access to your SD card and your micro USB happens from right here. The board is glued down to the shelf, so you'll need a pair of tweezers. I just take a pair of needle nose tweezers, grab that SD card and pull it out, and you'll need a 90-degree data cable. All right, it barely fits in there, but it does fit in there. That's how I program the board. You have my own sound font on here for now, and there is a copy of the config file on the SD card. All right, and then moving up here, you have a kill switch right here. So this plate for the kill switch, that stays on there, but that is your kill switch. And then your battery cover is right here, and it opens up here, and it is on with magnets as well. So you can see a row of magnets right here, another one over here. If you wanted to take your battery out, you could take it out with your fingers like that, and then that's what the inside of the battery cradle looks like. Now you have a leaf spring over here towards the hinge of the door. That is the negative side of your battery. All right, so don't put that in the wrong way. Okay, we'll close that, and that's where your battery stays. I'll leave that in here. This is a brand new battery that came with your kit, so it will need to be charged. I did not charge it. When these batteries come brand new from KR Sabers or from the factory where I buy them as well, because this is a Keep Power, they always need to have a full charge. All right, so let me get a pair of tweezers real quick. All right, so what I did on the instruction manual to put this chassis together, it says to put this secondary switch right here. If I can point to it with my tweezers, that guy right there, and it says to make that an auxiliary switch. I made that a power switch so that you could turn on the Saber or turn on the chassis when it wasn't in the Saber. I don't like to have a twist on feature when you have to put this inside of the Saber, because there's just too many motions going on and you can accidentally turn on. So what I did was that's a secondary power switch. But you will need like a tool to turn it on because it's pretty far in there. All right, you can hit it with your finger, but it can be difficult. If I can focus on that switch and not my face, if you can kind of see how far it is in there. All right, and then you've got a stock rotary PCB. Now this saber is very unique on the inside because of the handle. If you'll look at the handle, you have a nice grip right here. This is the first time I've seen this saber in person, by the way, but you've got that nice grip in there. But what that does is the diameter of this handle steps up inside the saber. So it goes so far, it steps up and it goes in. So that means it matters how you put this chassis in. If you'll notice on the bottom of this chassis, it's straight. It's a straight diameter from one side to the other, but on the top, it's bigger and then it drops down. All right, so that comes into play when putting it into the saber is what I'm trying to say. But we'll come over here and flip on the kill switch and show you your crystal chamber. So pretty bright there. That crystal has some very nice shine through. And then we'll come over here and hit the power button. You got that rotating plasma gate. If I were to open this up, you can see it spinning just there. And then I did give you twist off. All right, so when you want to put this in the saber, an easy way to remember how to do it is these silver tubes right here. These two silver tubes right here need to be lined up with your switches. When you have those on the same side, then you're good. All right, and then you can just slide it all the way in. Now, when you're putting this in, it's all a tight fit, but when you get to about right here, it's going to feel really tight. Just go ahead and push through that. It's not a big deal. And then you can come over here and put your pommel on, and you can let the pommel do the rest of the work. All right, just squeeze, tighten the pommel all the way. That pushes the chassis into the pins up here that you don't see, and then you can hit power. You got your LEDs in there firing up. A very small saber. It feels really good in the hand. Auxiliary up here. And twist off. We're going to put a blade in here. This takes a 1-inch diameter Neopixel blade. It is set up for a full-length blade. I'm just using my test blade. It's easier for me to do demos with it. All right, so once you get your blade in there, we'll lock it down. You have a blade retention screw, which is right here, a single blade retention screw. When you fire it up, lights up a blade very well. Blaster bolts is just tapping auxiliary, but if you want blade lock up, hold the auxiliary button down and hit the saber. You hear it right there. On a full length blade, you'll see it when your vertical is closer to the emitter, and then as you go horizontal, it moves closer to the middle of the blade, and it will stay like that until you let go of it. Turn it off. To play your soundtrack, it's a long press on the power. Alright, and another long press to turn it off. And then if you had more than one sound font on here, you would just hit auxiliary to go to the next one. Apologize. This one is mine. Alright, so we'll go ahead and break it back down. I'll show you that the kill switch is also doing what it's intended to do. So we'll take that out. Come over here and unscrew our pommel. Again, grab it like this, cup your other hand, and go like that once or twice. It'll pop out, and you can just pull this out. All right, and you can see your crystal chamber pulsing until we come over here and hit the kill switch, and it kills everything like it should. All right, but that is basically your KR Sabers Fortis with Goth Master chassis. Let me know if you have any questions, and because it's Saturday today, I'll get this out in the mail to you first thing Monday morning. Thanks.